as a young producer, you have to realize that, listen, people unless you're super protected, people are going to take advantage of you. So
Definitely.
the earlier you figure out how to protect yourself and your art and set those parameters and those boundaries, like in the industry, set completely, the better it will be for you. Because if you just enter in your green-eyed, man, listen, I've been taken, and Afam probably can testify to this. You'll be taken advantage of by everyone and anyone. Who calls you friend, who doesn't call you friend. They want what you have, and they will do anything to get it, and they might even try not to pay for it.
What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 146 of the 30% podcast. I go by the name Afam. My co-host goes by the name Sam Jedediah Eliapenda Are, and together we have founded this podcast to talk about the Kenyan music industry and uplift the artists within it and kind of just, celebrate Kenyan art together. Shout out to you guys for listening to us for 146 episodes. I hope you guys are good. I hope your weeks are going blessed. And Sam, what's up? How are you doing?
I am doing okay. I am slightly annoyed, a little bit frustrated, but all in all, I'm fine. I am fine.
Hey, listen, you know what? You could give a disclaimer in the beginning of this episode.
Yeah. First off, that's where I'm going.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I am not in my usual recording spot. And so I am back home. And my goodness, this country is noisy. Nigeria, especially Lagos, where I am, is just a very noisy environment. So there's noise everywhere. If you hear hooting, if you hear people yelling in the background, starting fights, if you hear there's a club going on behind me and he's yelling at the top, the MC is yelling at the top of his voice. I'm so sorry. So please bear with us. It will only be for a short while. Yeah, Nigeria is a very interesting culture.
Yeah, we'll do our best to give you guys the usual podcast listening experience that you're used to.
But it's cool.
Sam,
it's cool.
aside from all the noise, how have you been? What you been up to?
I've been cool. What did I do this week? Recently I went over to a studio. There's some guys who I've been sort of talking with, and just working with
some guys, aka Rema.
Yeah.
AKA Don Jazzy.
We don't drop names.
AKA Ira Star. Oh, listen, Sam. Come on.
Keep it under wraps. But no. But yeah, just so I went out to the studio, just listening to beats, talking about directions, and we were actually having a good conversation about, you know how in Kenya we have like M-Pesa? And M-Pesa is like a medium that you can collect your money from, like PayPal and other stuff like that. So here they don't really have that.
Yeah.
So we're just like talking about different solutions as to how we can go about that, and it got me talking about the CMOs and just the absolute in just, I don't even know the word to put it, just their inadequacy to do their jobs properly, and then having to as an artist having to find another way to figure out your revenue collection, your royalty collection and everything. So that was interesting. I just realized, talking about it, I just realized how unfortunate it is for Kenyans to be trying to work hard and release music and not get anything for it because of the CMOs and their just wickedness, honestly. So those are some good conversations, just figuring out like different solutions in terms of getting payments in different parts of Africa, in like being a middleman versus being like the main guy, and then just different things that they were talking about. I won't give the whole business proposal here, but yeah, so that was cool. And then just figuring out how to work with like upcoming artists, and I'm just so happy that there's still people in the artist development game and business, and they want to see artists grow from scratch in direction and image and all of that business. Like most the labels, like we're having the talk, the labels are really interested in virality now. Virality and artists already being established. Like they want to hop on the train rather than, build the tracks from scratch. So that was cool. Shout out to them. Hopefully we're working on some stuff soon, and yeah, see how we can affect the industry. They've been, that some of the guys who've like, they've worked with a couple of guys, Melvito's, Taves, they've been working with him in the studio. Taves is like a really, really brilliant young upcoming artist in Nigeria. Melvito is also a pretty decent producer. Playing demos of artists, and it was fun. It was a good time. It was a good time. Just a good time linking with other artists and other creatives in different countries. So, yeah. Then I came back home sick.
Okay.
So that was fun.
Well,
but I'm a little bit better now.
Man.
I'm a bit better.
Yeah, I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, I'm struggling. I'm struggling here. I'm struggling. This noise is not making it any better. I could barely sleep last night, man. They were going the whole night. Jeez, loud on the club. Anyway, how have you been? What's going on over there?
Bro, yeah, man. I've just been working, man. It's just a lot of work. So my week was really, 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 just like, it's just me working. And so it's been really hard. It's just been really hard to do anything else. But then, luckily, at least I had the weekend off, and I had some time to myself. And finally, guys, this has been coming for a long time. And I know it's taken so long, but genuinely, I haven't had enough time to do this. But Sam, I finally made the Kompa track.
Oh man, we need to play that. We need to play. We need to play that. We're playing it on the podcast itself. It's going to have to play on the podcast.
Yes. So, no, for sure. So, do I want to give any disclaimers? Okay. Listen, guys.
No. We're not doing that. No. We said no disclaimers.
First of all,
we said you're coming here.
First of all, I just want you to know
confidence.
This is the
I'm taking no disclaimers from you.
Listen,
I'm talking over all your disclaimers.
Listen,
I'm going to talk over every single disclaimer you have for us.
No, listen. I haven't had one. I haven't had time to work on basics, right?
Yeah.
So, but then I had time this weekend. So actually, specifically yesterday. So I made the first ever. This is what you guys are about to listen to. Is what I have made. Like this is the first time I have made Kompa in my life. So. Oh
man.
So Sam, I'm going to send it to you, and then obviously we're going to play it on the podcast. So Sam didn't know I was doing this, by the way. So Sam is also going to listen to this. Like this, his reaction is going to be
first time.
His reaction is going to be extremely authentic. Please just go very, very just be don't rip me to shreds. Don't rip me to shreds. So, guys, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to play the beat right now. Sam is also going to listen to the beat. And then we're going to come back. And then we're going to have a discussion about whether I fulfilled the promise or not. Okay, so guys, Sam has just listened to
Not
my
bad,
beat. Okay,
honestly.
you know what? I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up and let Sam say.
I would say I'm pleasantly because I can't for the life of me how you feel like you do anything that's live related. I know you to be producing just drum and bass and all of them. Like drum and bass is the closest I've seen you produce to anything live. Hey, for the first one too. All right, cool. Yeah, you have a point.
Listen,
there.
for the first one, it's not bad.
For the first one, it's not bad.
For the first one, it's not bad.
Yeah, you still need
right?
One, you still need a bit of movement,
Okay.
a couple more elements. Number two, you need that breakdown session. You have to have that breakdown session where the drums are going crazy.
Okay, that was supposed. Okay. Yeah. I definitely do need the drum breakdown section, section, and also like the synth part. Like realistically, if I was working with an artist, that would come at the end, right? Because usually that's what they do. They do the like synth thing at the end, and then that usually accompanies even the breakdown section.
Bigger and brighter and more obnoxious. Kompa's synths are just obnoxious and in your face.
Yeah. It's usually quite obnoxious, to be honest. But listen, I know this. So this beat came out like a bit Afro Kompa-ish, but it was not bad.
Okay.
It's not. Listen, guys.
Okay.
So this is what we're gonna do. So you guys get to decide whether it's a good Kompa beat or not.
Yeah. And we'll be real. Don't just give him that. Say it's a good Kompa beat just because.
But then but then also
be real,
guys,
like be real and be honest.
I'm gentle. Guys,
gentle,
yeah, please just be gentle.
Don't worry about hurting his feelings. Afam is a hardened criminal. He doesn't. He can take anything. Just be honest with him.
I'm kind of soft, guys. We please let's not go so hard.
No, it's not bad. I don't think people will vote negatively for it, especially with the caveat of it being your first. You're good.
Hey. Yeah, but I've never made Kompa before in my life.
I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, so
now I have to get on my Kompa vibe because I can't allow you to be good at Kompa and I've not even tried it. That's not now I have to tap into Kompa. Now I have to start listening to some.
Oh, wait, do you want to tell them what I titled the beat?
Yo, first off, the way producers title songs is now. Please tell me why I'm opening my thing and I see Kompao chicken. Like that's just.
No, but that's funny. Come on. Like Kompao chicken. Like if I send that to an artist and they open it and they see Kompao chicken, like they'll kind of wanna like hop on it just because it's funny.
Artists don't care about how you name your beats. Apart from times where artists would use how you named the beat to like because this. Sometimes they just
to name the song.
Yeah. I think that's they do that sometimes. Which is really important though.
That's a pet peeve of mine. For me, it's a pet peeve because I think it's lazy. No, if you name your song the name I named the beat, honestly, that is so lazy, I'm judging you heavy.
That's lazy as well. That's lazy. No, but see the thing about it, and that's something that producers are useful for is sometimes our inspiration bleeds to the artist where you could create something or like sometimes where you be mumbling. I don't know if you do that because me, like I think I've said this before. When I make a beat, if I have like a song direction, I like do like a sketch for vocal melodies or like words that come to pass. And if you send that to the artist, sometimes they just use that. So you could inadvertently be part of the inspiration for the final song by how you name the beat if it's good enough. Now, if you name the beat like Afrobeat 3, 4, 5 new final for real, like no one is going to name their song that apart from some alter artists who are trying to be cool. But
okay, so like we said, we'll let you guys vote. So we'll do a poll on Spotify, I guess. Yeah. Can you do polls on YouTube?
I don't.
I think you can.
I don't know.
I actually think you can. Yeah. You can definitely do polls on YouTube. So I guess I'll just do one there. We might do one on Instagram as well if you guys are interested. I don't know.
We should just post it. Yeah, post it on Instagram and do a poll because it'll be good to see. What
was the forfeit? The forfeit was for
there was none at all.
Yeah, if
there
people
was none at all.
No, there was. There was one.
There wasn't one.
There was
I don't remember that
if people
one.
said my beat was good, you were supposed to post on your story that Afam made a good Kompa beat and I was wrong. And
Hey, I'll give it to
people
you.
say it's bad,
I'll give it to you.
I'll post on my story that I made a
Yeah,
Kompa
you have
beat and
no
it was
business.
bad and
You have
Sam was
absolutely
right.
no business down that road. Get out of that house. Stick to your drum and bass, bro. Stick to your drum and bass.
But hey, listen. I might listen. I might send that to somebody. Hey, you never know, man.
I genuinely think that maybe you could. Of course, you'll have to tweak it a little bit, but and make it more Kompa-ish. Sure. But yeah. No, you should send out to one of these artists who are really trying. Hey, someone said it's the year of Kompa. It's kind of been a slow year for Kompa, but still, it's the year of Kompa still. So maybe you could be the one to spark it up.
I thought it would be. I think it was me who said that this was the year of Kompa. It's because I feel like, well, I said it because I think I saw Hendrik Sam saying it, but
it's August. Yeah, it's September.
I haven't seen too much Kompa going on.
Oh, so Kompa,
we need to hurry it up a little bit.
Let's see, maybe next year.
But anyway, one of the reasons why I decided to just work on this is because I was actually talking to one of our listeners, and he was like, "Yo, what going with the Kompa beat?" And I was like, "Yo, to be honest, I've been really busy and stuff like that." But he was actually talking about more stuff than just that. So he was asking us if we can talk about more producer related topics, and I guess one of the things that he was really interested in talking about was how to get placements, and I guess specifically just how you end up working closely with artists, and just how that whole process happens. And I guess Sam and I have kind of talked about it in passing, but maybe we haven't we haven't dedicated an entire episode to talking about how the whole placement process goes. So Sam, I guess I would like to ask you, in your journey coming up as a producer and everything, actually, what was the first time you worked with an artist, an artist hopped on your beat, and how did that happen?
Unofficially, well, I won't say unofficially, because I think artists are artists whoever they are. I don't put one artist above the other as popular as you are. So one of the first artists I think I worked with was an artist called Young Noise back in university. He was a beatbox artist. So he did a whole bunch of beatboxing. He won a bunch of beatboxing competitions, but he also used to rap. So I still have the project, actually. I was going through it the other day and I was like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. One of the first things I worked on. But yeah, so he was, I don't know what happened. I think I was just making beats and then somehow he found me. And then we just started recording. I used to record in my in my little room off campus. Dingy setup. Oh my goodness. And I still have that setup till today. But yeah, he was one of the, so that really just purely came from me. I don't remember how I made that connection, but then we were in the same sort of environment, I think. And then, of course, I'm talking about I produce music, and then he was talking about he raps, or maybe I approached him, however it is. And so that was one of the first times I actually did. So I worked on his project. He had left music for a while, then he came back. So I worked on that. So that came out of just being around each other in those spaces, and putting yourself forward. Then there's been a couple of, I guess, in between sort of unofficial ones. I would say maybe the first major one that would be, first major placement will be the tracks I had produced for Nyashinsky's first album and a couple of singles after that. And that came about from me. So I was working at a studio, and that was the studio he was coming to record at. And so I guess I actually wasn't there where my beats were played. My beats were played when I wasn't around, and then I guess he really liked some of them. And so the next day I come, is like, oh, we've picked this.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to have to interrupt you. So producers coming up would want to know, how did you even end up working at that studio? Because I know producers coming up want to work at studios, but they don't even know how to how to even do that.
Yeah. Well, how did I end up working? Well, I mean, I was, okay, fine. at that studio I was doing both music and like corporate stuff. We're working on where I was helping out with some of the like ads and sound effects and things like that. Just like learning and growing in that area. And so they also had a studio which I was helping record and produce for. So that's kind of how I got into that. I got to that through a network of like friends. A friend recommended the studio to me. He was working there and then he was shifting to do something different, more at the time rather. And then he was shifting to do something different. And then I ended up in that position where I was producing and all of that. So just making beats on my own, then coming to the studio and playing them. And then so that's kind of how it happened. So that's how I got that placement. That was cool. And then of course we worked on a couple of tracks at the studio, in the studio. And yeah, from then and then just helping out with some of the stuff at Soul Generation as well a couple of years back. Again, it's through those same networks and just continuing. And then some of the other placements I had, I mean, people have hit me up talking about, yo, can I have some beats? And that has happened. I would say the most interesting placement I got rather, it's kind of shady, is I had a beat tape a couple of while ago, like 2 beat tapes. And I posted them on SoundCloud. And some random guy from like California, I think it was, or LA. Yeah, California, LA. He made the songs, then he hit me up. He's like, yo, I really like these songs. These are amazing.
Oh wait, that's crazy.
Yeah, I really like these
crazy.
songs. This is amazing. I've done a couple of tracks now. I did a couple of songs. I listened to the songs. In hindsight, not the greatest. Okay. Maybe a tad too much autotune. I still think those beats were amazing for the time that I created them in. Like, they were really good. Maybe a tad bit too much autotune, not much subject matter, but it still sounded good, right? So now I'm like, all right, let's release this thing properly. Let's, you know what, let's go through about this, the right channels. And of course, as an artist, he's not going to want to do that. He wants to finesse and he wants to take the beats and run away. So he took the beats and ran away and nothing came of that. I think the songs are still on SoundCloud, actually. Oh man, so that's happened quite a bit.
Do you wanna say the names of the songs?
I can't even remember his name. I'll look for the links because I can't.
No, the songs at least. So, because bro, I'm trying to hear what old Sam production sounds.
I'll find I'll find it, then I'll send it to you. Hopefully he hasn't taken them down, but I think I checked them like last year and they were still up. There's that, and then I'll find them, then I'll send it to you. I don't remember the name of the artist or the songs. I just remember the beats. And then, yeah, so those are some of the interesting ones. I mean, I've also gotten placements from just artists coming into the studio, like coming from different countries, coming into the studio and just chilling. And then I guess it's the same thing where, unfortunately, they didn't want to. And as a young producer, you have to realize that, listen, people unless you're super protected, people are going to take advantage of you. So
definitely
the earlier you figure out how to protect yourself and your art and set those parameters and those boundaries, like in the industry, set completely, the better it will be for you. Because if you just enter in your green-eyed, man, listen, I've been taken, and Afam probably can testify to this, you'll be taken advantage of by everyone and anyone. Who calls you friend, who doesn't call you friend? They want what you have and they will do anything to get it, and they might even try not to pay for it. So yeah, those are some of the, I mean, there's been a bunch of other things, people reaching out to artists and getting placements, you know. But yeah, how have you gotten placements? How did you get Lil Minor in the studio?
Before I even get to Lil Minor, like my first ever placement was this dude called Aces. I to be honest, don't even know where Aces is or what he's doing.
Shout out to Aces.
Probably doesn't even make music.
To Aces shout out to supporting the boy.
Why are you saying it like that? So anyway, let me tell you guys, the only way to get placements, especially when you're starting out, you just have to be really, really hungry.
Yeah.
You have to be starving. You have to be like literally so like you have to want it more than anything, because that's how it worked for me. Like I knew nobody in the industry. I started making beats and posting my beats on SoundCloud, and I had no connections with any artist.
Yeah.
But then I used to listen to people on SoundCloud, and then I was just like in their DMs, almost like. It was actually almost embarrassing, to be honest, because I'd just be like,
game.
yo.
I didn't play the DM game. You played the DM game.
I played it heavy,
I couldn't handle
bro.
it, man.
Sam, think of an artist who was popping between the years of 2013 and 2015.
They have G's
I've
Afam in
DM'd
their
them.
email.
I'm going to be there in their SoundCloud somewhere, being like, yo, I make beats, like, let's work. Bro, I remember I used to like send Kampmula beats. I used to be like, yo, guys, listen, please give me a chance. Please.
You did
listen,
send
you guys, I
Kampmula
could
beats.
make beats.
What were you doing,
Oh,
man?
of course I did. I sent Kamula beats, I sent Teo beats, I sent Shapaman beats, I sent Karun, I sent all of them beats.
That's
all of them
crazy.
I sent the beats. The only person I didn't send beats to was Kusma. All of them I sent them beats. And yeah, so anyway, so for me, my journey was just like, I have no connections with these people. I'm just going to DM you out of the blue. I'm just this stranger, and
artist.
I'm just going to ask.
Yeah.
I'm just going to like be persistent. You know what I mean? And then eventually somebody is going to be like, here's my email. And then you send them, and then you see what happens. And so, for me, Aces was the first person. Then the second person who really, really believed in me was Kavinya. And she kind of like quit music for a bit, but I think she's getting back into it now. She was the first person I ever made like an R&B-ish song with. And I remember for me, that was such a huge moment, you know, like just like sending her beats via SoundCloud. And then I remember she recorded it, and then everything was just recorded on the left channel, and then I had to like
mono it. You had to mono it.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you.
Mono it and then print it out again so
bro,
that it's printed out completely in mono, and then yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, like back in the day, things just used to be so shagala bagala. I don't even know.
Shagala bagala.
And so Kavinya was an early one. Then Kavinya was really good friends with a guy called Harawa, who I'm really close friends with even today. And then Harawa also happened to make music, and Harawa was interested in like Bryson Tiller like type of stuff. And so that's what I started sending him. And then we released some song, and it did really well, and by SoundCloud standards. And then from there, you just kind of start like building a sort of reputation.
Yeah.
And some of these things just happen very like haphazardly, or it's like there's no plan. But then all of a sudden, like people are like, oh yeah, Afam, he makes beats on SoundCloud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But bro, it was like 5 years of just like sending beats and nobody really believing in the source at all. So if you're talking about placements, it's just about persistence. It's also about being a little bit delusional, and just that's how I approached it, to be honest.
Right place, right time is pretty important. So sorry, go ahead.
No, that's also very important, and which is like now my second like experience in terms of getting placements, which is like via the studio. But my first experience is you have to create your own luck. I think that's very important. Like just me being in the DMs and just like being almost on my knees. So do you know what happened? Like, one of those beats I was sending to Kapmula, and I was like, oh my God, like, please just give me a chance. You know, I sent it to Kabi, King Kabi, and King Kabi really liked it. And then so now we developed a relationship out of the blue, right? And so I sent it to King Kabi because back in the day I used to work with EA Wave at the time. And so I started like sending Kabi beats heavy. And then Kabi, I met him, and then that's how I ended up meeting some other producers who Sam and I have in common as friends. And then through those relationships now, I ended up meeting these same people at the studio that I ended up working with when I met Sam for the first time. So you see, it's just all about like you see how it's like everything is connected.
Following the line.
But then in the beginning, it didn't. Yeah, but in the beginning, it didn't feel connected at all.
That's how it is. It doesn't usually feel like that. So yeah,
exactly.
I mean, we do talk about it, networking and relationships, and relationships and networking really gets you where you need to be in the industry. So It's all about
100%.
following those.
And
So you have to, as a producer, you really have to, as a new producer, you really have to figure those out. Like, yeah, it's cool sitting in your room and making beats all day, watching YouTube tutorials. But if you really want to start moving, you have to be outside. You like really just have to be outside. That's how you get some sort of placement in the industry. And
exactly. No, exactly. And so like back to now right place, right time. So I get the job at the studio. And that's also like such a random story as well. Like there was so many different pathways to me getting that job at the studio in Karen. But one of them is so random because a cousin of mine used to date Matrax way back in the day, long time ago. And so Matrax has always known me as this like little cousin guy, you know what I mean? And I was like, yo, I'm getting into music and stuff like that. And do you know any studios? I'd like to come to work in your studio. But at the time, I think he wasn't working at the Code Red studios much. I think he wasn't doing music much. So he was like, yo, I know this one engineer guy called Bosire. He's starting a studio or something. I'll just try and hit him up or whatever. And yeah, that's just randomly how it happened for me. Like, very lucky. And then now just being at the right place at the right time, because at that time, the people at the studio wanted to work with like Kina Boutros or whatever. And yeah, Boutros walks into the studio once and I'm like, oh my God, like, this is your one shot. Do not miss a chance to blow out. That's exactly how that song was playing in my head.
was
like, I kid you not, Sam. The first time Boutros came into the studio, I didn't have any beats. But the second time he came, I had like 10 beats ready because I was like, bro, I really, really, really want to work with Boutros.
That's the worst thing too, when an artist comes into the studio and you're not prepared. Oh, you feel
and you
so
have nothing.
bad. Oh goodness, terrible. Been through that quite a bit.
Exactly, and yeah, and so then now that was just right place, right time, and then in now working in the studio, and then just relationships like Steph. So some of you might know Steph, the rapper. She used to be really, really consistent in terms of releasing music, and she wanted to record some stuff in the studio. And so I used to like be like, yo, what's up? Just come. If you need to record in the studio, it's fine. I got you and stuff like that. So I developed a relationship with Steph. And then all of a sudden, I'm hearing Steph is managing Lil Minor. And so at one point I was like, yo, you're managing Lil Minor. I have beats that I might want to send Lil Minor, like whatever. And so because I just randomly and just out of like, just the pure fact of like networking and just like making friends with people in the industry, right? Because I had this relationship, Lil Minor came into the studio and then he listened to the beat that made Cocoa Butter. And the funny thing about that, Sam, like imagine I sent the Cocoa Butter beat in a pack of 5 beats to Lil Minor, right? And then, bro, so I sent it to him. I sent it to Steph and she sent it to Lil Minor, right? Because she's his manager.
Yeah.
And then so when he comes into the studio, he's like, bro, I listened to the beats and I didn't hear anything.
Just wasn't feeling nothing.
Messing with. I wasn't feeling with
really
it. Like he was like, hey,
really sparked joy like that.
Yeah. Then I was like,
what do you mean?
So I paused and I was like, are you sure?
What do you mean?
Then I was like,
playing these joints again.
So in a spur of the moment, I was like, nah, this nigga never really, he didn't listen to them properly or something. So let me play them again. And then, so I played the beat for Cocoa Butter, and then he was listening to it like it's the first time he ever heard it. And I was like, I knew it. I knew that this was like, bro, like, come on, this was a really good beat.
Listen, we don't really talk about it, but it really matters where and how artists live. Like, in terms of the timing of how you play your beats, it's so important because you could play that beat at a time where they're not feeling that vibe, and then you could come with, oh, did you do a new batch? Yeah, this one. I just cooked up a new batch, and then you play the exact same beat. It's like, oh, what's this? This is amazing. I'm going to jump with this, and you're looking at him like, look at you, just look
And it's
at you.
the same
Look
beat
at
I
you. Look at
sent
what you're
you,
doing
like,
with your
bro.
life. Why are you the way you are?
I
Honestly.
know, man.
I sent you this.
I
sent you
know.
this beat, and I even labeled it. This is the best in the world, and you said you weren't feeling it. Now you want to hop on it. What are we doing?
And that's my new. That's so that I learned a lot in terms of, so up till then, or at least up till working in the studio, my main tactic was my introverted way of just like finding artists online and sending them beats via email. Like that's how I even developed my relationship with Kina Baraka and Ekumbo and all those guys.
Yeah.
But there's something really, really different about being in the studio with an artist and playing them the beats like on the speakers, and it's loud and there's a vibe there.
It definitely
it's
boosts
so different.
Boosts the just having because energy is really important, I guess, in music. So just having that energy, having to see that, and the artist is watching you vibe out to your beat, and the speakers there, it's louder, it's just there's people around, that kind of thing. It's sometimes that can trigger more emotions that the artist probably wouldn't have gotten when they're just sitting down and listening to it in their AirPods.
Exactly. And so for me that was such a dope experience, and I realized it was actually a really dope experience for Lil Minor, because bro, at the end of the session, he was like, yo, by the way, this is the first time I've ever recorded music in a studio from start to finish, like professionally. And I was like, no way. Like, because at the time he still had Kishash and all that stuff. And he was like, yeah, all that stuff, I just made it in my room, like on whatever, like phone, mic, this, that. Like, so for him, he was like, it was a really like pivotal moment for him as well. So yeah, I just say right time, right place, like, or right place, right time, like Sam said.
Yeah.
But I think my biggest advice to like upcoming producers is forget about working with artists who are like, don't obsess about working with artists who are already like solidified, or who've already made it. Really, really focus on people who are on your same level, who are also on the come up. You know what I mean? Like, because that's how I started on SoundCloud. That's how you build your reputation. If you can make the artists who are still coming up around you sound good, then that's where the big artists gain their inspiration. Do you get what I mean? Like you know, like the bigger artists, they're tapped into what's happening on the lower levels.
Yeah.
And the lower levels is you. You know what I mean? That's where they also get inspiration. So if they see you guys and your crew, your small crew that you think that you're not doing anything, let me tell you, there's people who are listening. There's people who are paying attention. And if you guys are actually doing something that's moving the needle, even the mainstream guys will want a piece of that. Because the mainstream guys, let me tell you the truth, the mainstream guys don't innovate as much as the kids who are like coming up. And so they also need like ways to get inspired. And that's where they get the inspiration. They listen to what the kids are doing, and then they take that on. So work with the people who are also coming up, and do some really, really good stuff. And then eventually things just let it all work out.
Oh, goodness,
it'll all just start working out.
Yeah, we've heard that song enough. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely it. Of course, you can go more let me not say professional routes, but then there's other things you can do that are a little bit more corporate sounding, like just pitching. Like if you want placements, one of the ways is just to pitch it to labels, pitch it to A&Rs. There sometimes labels have like submissions, A&Rs. If you know A&Rs, you could send beat packs. Sending beat packs is like your beats might end up getting took, but again, if you've set up your boundaries well enough, then you won't have a problem with that. But then sending beat packs out, that's another way to get placements. I haven't done a lot of beat packs, but it's something I'm trying to get into now. I'm just working with a bunch of artists and just trying to just send them stuff and seeing what they're like. Yeah, it's really that. It's just a couple of ways. You could either do it in person, or you could work and send out music and track it, or you could go the relationship route. Whatever's comfortable for you. But then just, it's important to focus on delivering like quality music, delivering quality and sticking to like what's fun for you as a producer. Chasing placements can become a really weird game where you just morph into everything else that you think everyone wants. And if you feel like
You can lose yourself.
yeah, if you feel like you're making what is already present, then how many beats do you think an artist has gotten that sound exactly like that? So it's very cool to, I mean, it's good to be you as you're working on music, as you just know what your signature is and go with it.
And you know, that's so true, because like when Benzema came into the studio, right, and we worked on a song called Toarada, and I remember I sent him a bunch of beats. So I was like, so I knew Benzema was coming to the studio, and so I sent him a bunch of beats that I thought Benzema would want to hop on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I remember him clearly telling me, he was like, bro, these beats, you can find type beats like this on YouTube. Just send me something unique. So I made something weird like that to a Rada beat. It's such a weird beat. And that's what he really liked, because he was like, bro, I can't if I look for Gengeton type beats or whatever,
Yeah.
I can't find something that sounds like that, because that just sounds weird. And that's what he gravitated to. So like Sam is saying, try and be unique in some way. I don't know how else. Like, don't try and just chase like the
Chase the
trends and
the
stuff.
trendy
Obviously, you
sound.
still have.
It's fine.
You still have to sound.
Yeah.
You still have to sound good in context of what's popping
Yeah.
at the time. That's for
and
sure.
if that's what you're
But,
making,
like,
if that's the wave you're on, that's the wave you're on. I'm not saying that never ever try, but then if you're just
Yeah.
making beats to sound like type beats specifically and only, and that's your goal, it might be very difficult. I mean, in the studio earlier in the week, we were just talking about how easy it is now to. I mean, back then, talent had to go through so many doors before you could actually get a record out. Like, you have to be discovered by an A&R and
Facts.
then have to go to a studio, and you're sitting down with experienced engineers and experienced writers and experienced producers. And so you have to pass your song through that as well. And then now that song goes to a label, and then they have to sit down and think, is this a good song, before it hits the radio. These days, all you need is a DAW. And so there is 1,001 producers at any given area code making type beats. And for you to stand out, you have to do something different. And I just think, and especially in the Kenya, let me say it in the Kenya industry, I think in the Kenya industry sometimes it just feels like sometimes we're afraid to do different things. Like, it's very common to get, like, once it's Gengeton, everyone is doing Gengeton, the same style of Gengeton, the same cadences, the same raps, the same everything, even the same style of mixing. Of course, we've not gotten to those deep parts of things where we can now tell different mixes from different mixes and different philosophies of mixing. We've not gotten down that road yet. But then, if you do that, you're just going to get lost in the sea of the 100,000 songs that are uploaded to Spotify every day, or the sea of artists that are. Imagine how many artists are receiving things. It's an important thing to know as a producer is, all right, you can create music in the way that you feel like the artist might want to hear it. If you know, like, artists have signatures, it'd be good to just have like little things like those that would get their ears perky, like, oh, this guy knows what I like. So it might be completely different, but then if an artist like a signature, like, for example, we talk about Matata having like a couple of songs where they have like the first bar of the first verse silent, and then it drops again, like stuff like that. Like, if you send them beats like that, they could listen to them like, oh man, this guy really knows our style. So it could be a hit and a miss where they really like that, or it could be a time where you do that and then they're like, okay, no, we've had this before. And it's really just it's off vibes. That's why it's good to just stay true to yourself as a producer rather than try and conform, because I mean, this is a very emotional type of art. A side thing, as you chase placements, if that's what you're doing, it's important to have your business in place. Like, you should at least have an idea of your split sheets and everything. Sometimes that comes from the producer side, sometimes that comes from the artist side. It's just good to have like a template. You can find those online, you can find those or talk to an IP lawyer or whatever, they can give that to you, or other artists, other producers. It's just good to have those in place so you know what you're doing before you send the beats. Like, have like little metadata on your beats. It seems like a lot of work, but that could save you a lot of time. It could save you a lot of money in terms of litigation and all of that business. It's just important to have that on the side. But yeah, placements come from everywhere, man.
Facts.
Producer collaborations. It comes from just random A&Rs hearing what you've done on Instagram and DMing you. It's
Yep.
all over, man. Just as long as you're being outside and you're being seen and you're doing stuff to put yourself in front of people, whatever it is, then you get your placements.
Exactly. And then eventually, like once you build that reputation, like artists will come to you and be like, "Yo, could you let's start, like let's do some stuff." And then yeah, you know, from there it's a bit easier, and then you'll become a little bit more like choosy on what you want to work on and what you don't want to work on, you know. So
Yeah.
hope that helps. I could talk so much about like the stories of how songs got made, but this would be a 4-hour podcast.
True.
But yeah,
True.
Sam. So wait, I just want to shout out it's Masha on Instagram for asking that question. Hopefully we gave you like a little bit of insight. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. What else is there to talk about?
Yeah, just really quickly. Apple Music threw up 4 artists in the next up next program, and one of our own was chosen. He's been in the news recently, and he's had a smash hit, Toxic Lyrikali. So he was picked recently to be part of the Apple Music Up Next program, and I mean, just cool. Like it's cool seeing motion being recognized, you know, and all that. Yeah, he said he's happy and honored to be selected for the Up Next East Africa. Yeah, I mean, Backbencher was a smash, so it makes sense, you know, that he's selected for that. So it's just cool to see.
Who are the other?
Oh yes,
Yeah, who are the other artists
I guess
involved?
I should put them on. Raven from Ghana, Efwe from Nigeria, who's pretty cool, and then Trillion Petals from South Africa joined Toxic in the Up Next program. So it's cool. I don't know what this really does.
So I think so I'm seeing here, like I don't know about the African context, but like in general, like in the Western context, like Apple Music have had the Up Next program as a thing. It's been going on. Like artists like Billie Eilish have been part of this program. I'm seeing here that like for the Up Next program, like in America, the artists who got the shout out or just the opportunity to be part of the group, they'd get like a slot to perform on like one of the live show TV slots, like in Jimmy Kimmel or like James Corden. So it's like, so essentially the whole idea is giving artists a platform, especially emerging artists, a platform to sort of shine. And it's like an artist development kind of thing. And so like, you know, getting the chance to perform on Jimmy Kimmel or James Corden or one of these type of shows, or like Jimmy Fallon, like that puts you in front of a huge audience. So it's really just like it's introducing you to the mainstream. Like, wow, this is Billie Eilish, this is Jessie Reyes, Bad Bunny has been part of it, Daniel Caesar has been part of it, Khalid has been part of it. It looks like to me in the African context though, like the Up Next series is mostly just about playlisting. So they push you on the playlist. And I do know playlisting is a big way that people get discovered nowadays, I guess. It would be kind of cool if there were more you know,
More artist
hands
development.
on. Yeah, if it was more of a hands-on like thing. And I know it's kind of hard to do because we're talking about the African continent, so it's hard to just like in the American context, you talk about one country. Here, you're talking about a continent, so it's hard to get all these artists together and have them do something. But it is doable. I mean, literally last week we talked about what Jameson is doing.
Yeah.
You know, with getting the artists working with Anderson .Paak and stuff like that. So hopefully that's something that they can implement. But I guess just it's more about just exposing the artists like via the playlist and giving them more of a look like in streaming. So which is good. Like, don't get me wrong, that's a really good look. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it
yeah,
would have been a lot better if we could get more like artist development on there and
for
like
sure,
hands-on
for sure.
from some of them. But hey, take what we can get. Shout out to Toxic Lyrikali and all the other artists that are featured on the Up Next program.
All right, man. So let's get back into new music, man. So bro, a lot of good music came out this week, I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, I just want to shout out to all the artists who released. Number one being Ukweli and Xenia. Like, bro, listen, when Ukweli and Xenia release music, like the world kind of stops. Like people just, you have to stop what you're doing and just listen. Because to be honest, I think that's one of the producer artist combos that really, really
Yeah.
move the needle in the country. For me, anyway, that's what I think. So shout out to them. They released the song Rudia. It's good to see them back releasing music together. So that's just a really, really powerful duo. Gin and Wine, the Swarm remix came out. That's by TG Black and Swarm. So shout out to them. I thought it was a really, really smooth listen. Hujaniacha by Ndovuku Stone Jiwe. That was a good listen. Masupu by Ethic. The beat was very unique. So shout out to them, man. The content was very raunchy. So shout out to them again. Then there was Foul by Breeder LW. Fuck with Breeder as always. And then this song actually really, really caught my attention. Nanyor by Nesmburu, Loveless, and Youth, and then Maps. So something about that song really, really caught my ear. So shout out to them. And then I guess the last one I want to put on would be Siku Fiti by Asum Garvey. He's really been hopping on some really, really experimental stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I really respect it.
Yeah, and keeping up that consistency too. It's pretty cool. It's cool to see. I guess I can name a couple. I listened to Chunga from Mr. Frank White. I like it when it drops. So that was pretty cool. On the gospel side of things, Noel and Derito released Desktop Clutter EP with 5 songs on there. So that's cool. If you're into that, go check it out. And then Timeless, the project album, compilation album, I think, that features a lot of people. Mfilo, Zaituni, Tugi Wayaki, Chris Barr, just Ras Amor, so many people on this project. So shout out to them also for dropping that.
And sorry to interrupt, but also shout out to Zaituni. I've been seeing the rollout.
Oh yeah. She's rolling
I'm
out
excited.
her project.
I am excited.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that one. It's been long overdue. Long overdue. So shout out to her for putting that on our radar now.
Zaituni deserves the world, man. She really does.
She does. Very, very brilliant. Very brilliant. What else? Scam Cardinali, Whip Inapiga Madoba. I like a good Scam Cardinali rap, so I enjoy that. Calligraph Jones released Confused. Calligraph, man, I feel like Calligraph is not moving like a big rapper. I'm going to catch some flack for that, but I feel like Calligraph doesn't move like a big rapper sometimes. I feel like there needs to be a little bit more
Sam
hype.
Are.
Everything that's said on this podcast is both our views. No.
That's Sam Are.
No, man. I feel like he needs to move like the OG himself. Like I just feel like he just drops things low key and they just go under the radar and there's no noise about it. He needs to make a little bit more noise. But yeah, so he dropped that. Echo Dida, who has been again on the gospel side, he released So Can't You. Echo Dida has really he's been rapping the same way with a little bit of tweaks, but he's been rapping the same way for years now, since the 2000s, early 2010s. So I mean, that takes a little bit of skill to do that. There's still a lot of music that I haven't gotten to, so I need to sit down with new music.
Yes, sir. But there was one song that came out that in my opinion, was just phenomenal. Honestly, I listen to Labdi and I feel this. This is how I feel. Listening to her music on my headphones isn't enough. I need to be in the vocals. I need those vocals to I need to be immersed in the vocals. I'm being so for real, man. I need to submerge myself in the vocals. I need to lather myself in the vocals,
right,
bro.
man.
Honestly, bro, I'm being so serious, man. Like her music is so mesmerizing. Bro, I don't even know what she's talking about because I don't understand.
You have no idea. It just sounds good.
No clue.
That's
but it sounds amazing
in a multicultural music industry, man. That's we have to.
But isn't that so cool though? Isn't it so cool to just release stuff that's so moving and I have no idea what you're saying?
Yeah.
That just shows how powerful the music is, man.
No. I mean, we obviously really we've talked about her music. Just me and you personally. Like it's really cool. I don't know. I like it. It comes off a bit authentic. It comes off as just very. It's very steeped in culture and just that side of things, and it's cool to see her pushing that. So, yeah, these are some of the artists that we really need to see take the international stage.
Honestly, I would go as far as saying I think Labdi is severely underrated in the industry. I think she really deserves way more. But yeah, she released the song Jawanya together with a video, which was really cool as well. And that's what we'd like to play for the end of the podcast, because what a song, what a video. So you guys are about to listen to Jawanya by Labdi.
Nyoro he nenari oke nene atia kawono e anadog dala ke chingado iya alot boga pilo hero lunch check omena piera beach to beno fuko yuak alot boga pilo hero lunch check omena piera beach to beno fuko yuak chambaka kabisa aloko nge arango kendo kuna kwisa aduogo ka atingo chumbi kadona malisa
That was Jawanya by Labdi. Shout out to
Shout
her,
out
man.
to Labdi and
Amazing
her team.
song.
Very good song.
Bro. Well, and the people who be mixing her vocals as well and mixing her songs, they sound very good. And like it's very minimalistic,
Yep.
but everything stands out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Sam? So that's like a good sign of good mixing when there's very few elements, but everything just has its place and like everything sounds so distinct. So shout out to them. Shout out to you guys for listening to this podcast for 146 episodes. Like I say all the time, I've been saying this since the beginning. We started this podcast because we want Kenyan artists to be played more and paid more.
And producers.
Exactly.
And writers.
Artists, Kenyan artists. And I think that encapsulates all of us. And yeah, if you are new to this podcast, I usually like to end the podcast with the 3 C's, which is a mantra that I crafted for myself because I am not perfect and I need to improve the way I go about working on art. Number 1 is confidence. Always be confident in your work, because if you're not confident about your work, who will be? You have to be confident. Number 2, consistency. Always be consistent. It's really hard though sometimes. For me to even make the Kompa beat, like I didn't have time to work on music. I didn't have, you know what I mean? But like you have to try. You have to try and push through your schedule and stuff like that. If you really like the art that you're making and you want to be successful at it, you have to try your best to be consistent. And number 3, craft. Always work on your craft. Always dedicate like 5 minutes, 10 minutes of your day to working on the art that you like, because at the end of the day, those 5 minutes will add up. And trust me, those 5 minutes can really, really change your outlook on your creative process. It could really, really impact the stuff that you're doing. So yeah, man.
Facts.
Sam, Eliapenda, how are you feeling?
Facts. No, man. You spoke some truths there. I don't have anything, man. I guess
Sam. I lied for the other part of the Sam. Okay, I'm sorry. I just made this so awkward. Why are you looking at me like this?
Yo, we'll catch you guys in episode 147, man.
Why did you look at me like that? That was genuinely, you gave me the stink eye.
Sorry.
Like you looked at me like I was oh my God, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for saying that. But yeah, we'll see you guys next episode.